in the heart of Neo-Toronto, where floating taxis hummed through skyways and buildings touched the clouds, the famous billionaire CEO Cyrus Vale stepped out of his sleek hovercar. His dark suit shimmered slightly under the neon blue lights of the luxury sky lounge, Stellar Ember. People whispered when they saw him. He was one of the richest men on Earth and the face behind Quantum Core Industries, the company that powered half the planet's AI systems. Tonight, Cyrus wasn't here for business. He was here for a blind date. His executive assistant had signed him up for a high-end matchmaking service, known to pair ultra-elite humans with exceptional partners, even from off-world colonies. He didn't really care for romance, but the board had been pressuring him to appear more human to the public. So he agreed. Cyrus entered the lounge, eyes scanning the room. It was quiet, polished, filled with soft music and the scent of expensive synth perfume. He looked at his wrist chip and checked the profile image his assistant had shared, just a silhouette. The only clue was her name, Amara. Just then, his gaze landed on a young woman standing near a small service counter. She wasn't sitting like the others, but there was something different about her. She wasn't like the usual customers. She was simple, graceful, and her smile lit up the corner of the lounge. Her uniform was slightly worn, and her hair was tied back messily, but her eyes looked smart, curious. Cyrus walked straight toward her. Lena Marin, a part-time waitress working double shifts to fix her broken AI assistant, was adjusting a malfunctioning food drone. She looked up and froze as she saw a well-dressed man walking toward her with purpose. He looked rich, important. "Amara?" he asked gently, giving her a charming smile. Lena blinked, confused for a moment. She opened her mouth to explain, but something in his voice made her stop. Her day had been long. Her shoes were killing her. And for once, she wanted to feel important too. "Yes," she said quietly, not sure why she said it. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it was curiosity. But she didn't correct him. Cyrus smiled, clearly pleased. "You look different from your profile, but in a good way." Lena smiled politely. "You look exactly like someone who belongs in a place like this." They sat at a private table near the glass wall that showed Earth's skyline stretching for miles. Floating ships passed by lazily in the night sky. "So, Amara," Cyrus began, "tell me something no one else knows about you." Lena sipped the sparkling blue drink the server bot brought. Her fingers tapped nervously on the glass. "I think stars are lonely," she said. "Everyone admires them, but no one really listens to them." Cyrus raised an eyebrow. That was poetic. "You think stars speak?" "Maybe not with words, but light is a language too, right?" Cyrus nodded slowly, strangely fascinated. He had met diplomats, scientists, even AI poets, but no one spoke like her. There was depth in her simplicity. She didn't try to impress him, she just spoke honestly. They talked for an hour. About the future, about forgotten books, about AI art, and real emotions. Lena shared her thoughts carefully, never revealing too much, but always just enough to keep Cyrus leaning in, wanting more. He laughed more tonight than he had in months. At one point, he asked, "So what do you do when you're not being mysterious?" Lena smiled. "I work with people, mostly helping others clean up their messes." Cyrus laughed, thinking that was a clever answer. He didn't realize she was telling the truth. As the evening ended, Cyrus stood up. "Amara, this was unexpectedly wonderful. I hope we meet again." Lena stood too. Her hands felt warm, her heart a little confused. "Maybe we will," she said. And then she turned and walked quickly toward the kitchen area. As soon as she was behind the door, she leaned against the wall, breathing fast. One of the other waiters looked at her with wide eyes. "Did you just have dinner with Cyrus Vale?" he whispered. Lena didn't answer. She didn't know what she had just done. Part of her felt guilty for pretending, but part of her felt alive again. Cyrus returned to his car, his mind spinning. That woman, Amara, or whoever she was, had stirred something in him. He didn't even notice that the actual blind date, the real Amara, had been sitting across the lounge the whole time. Waiting. Back in her small rented room, Lena powered up a dusty old terminal. After a few error messages, the screen lit up. From under her bed, she pulled out a small hexagonal crystal wrapped in cloth. Its surface glowed faintly with alien markings. She whispered to it, "He thought I was someone else. And maybe that helped me forget who I am too." The crystal pulsed once, like it understood. Outside, a shadow moved across the window. Someone had been watching. The next morning, Cyrus Vale sat in his private office, high above the clouds in Quantum Core Tower. Holographic screens floated around him, stock reports, AI performance graphs, security data, but he wasn't paying attention to any of them. His thoughts kept going back to Amara, the woman he had met last night. She was unlike anyone he had spoken to in years. She didn't ask him about his wealth, his company, or his famous inventions. She didn't treat him like a powerful man, just like a man. Her words still echoed in his head. Stars are lonely. Light is a language too. Cyrus leaned back in his chair. Something didn't add up. Her manner, her dress, her way of speaking it didn't match with the kind of people the matchmaking service usually selected. So he called in his assistant Kelvin, a sharp, enhanced man who handled most of his personal details. "Pull the security footage from Stellar Ember last night," Cyrus ordered. "Also track the arrival logs of guests. I want to confirm something." Kelvin blinked, surprised. "Is there a problem, sir?" "No, just curiosity." A few minutes later, Kelvin returned with a frown. "Sir, it seems the real Amara, your scheduled date, was there. She arrived 15 minutes before you and waited in Lounge 2 the entire time. You never saw her." Cyrus raised an eyebrow. "Then who was I talking to?" Kelvin showed the footage. There she was, Lena Marin, in her waitress uniform, speaking with Cyrus, laughing, sitting across from him like an invited guest. "She's a waitress?" Cyrus asked, more to himself. "Yes, sir." "Name, Lena Marin. No known criminal record. Current residence, Zone 7 of Neo-Toronto. However, ... Kelvin hesitated. "However?" "There's a gap in her records. From age 21 to 26, 5 years, nothing. No job history, no public service, no education logs. That's unusual, especially in this era." Cyrus narrowed his eyes. 5 years of missing data was not just a glitch, it was a choice. Someone had erased their own trail. "Thank you, Kelvin. That will be all." As Kelvin left, Cyrus stared out at the floating cities in the distance. Who was Lena Marin really? In a small apartment hidden between crowded towers in Zone 7, Lena sat quietly, staring at the glowing alien crystal she had unwrapped the night before. It hovered above her table, spinning slowly and humming softly. Years ago, she had found it during an expedition on Mars, when she was part of a science team studying ancient alien ruins. Back then, she was Dr. Lena Marin, a brilliant xenolinguist and expert in alien languages. She had discovered something she wasn't supposed to, an encoded message hidden inside the ruins. It wasn't just history. It was a warning. But before she could publish her research, men in dark suits appeared. The company funding her team, Skyrift Dynamics, confiscated everything. They claimed it was dangerous technology. They shut down the dig and erased all evidence of what she had found. But Lena had taken the crystal before they came. Since then, she had been hiding. She changed her identity, wiped her records, and moved to the lower zones where no one would look for a former scientist. She became invisible. Until last night. Why did I lie to him? She whispered, thinking about Cyrus. She had seen his face in news reports before, always talking about progress and the future. People like him didn't notice people like her, but he had noticed. And now, because of that mistake, Her peaceful life was about to change. Far away, in a hidden control room beneath the surface of the moon, an AI screen flickered. A man with gray eyes and a Skyrift Dynamics badge stood before it, reviewing images of Lena from the lounge. He watched her speak with Cyrus, watched her return home, and saw the light of the alien crystal glowing in her room. Target confirmed, he said into his COM device. She still has the artifact. Orders? Came a voice through the speaker. Retrieve the artifact. Neutralize if needed. Do it quietly. Cyrus Vale must not be involved. Understood. The next evening, Cyrus returned to Stellar Ember. He didn't know what he was hoping for, maybe that Lena would be there again. And she was. She was fixing a traybot near the corner when she noticed him walk in. Her heart skipped. Cyrus walked up and smiled. Lena, he said softly, or should I still call you Amara? She froze. Her smile faded a little. You found out, he nodded. You fooled me, and I don't get fooled easily. Lena stood ready to apologize, but he held up his hand. Don't. I should thank you. That night was the most honest conversation I've had in years. Lena tilted her head. Even if I lied about who I was? You didn't lie, he said. You just didn't say everything. They stood in silence for a moment. I'd like to talk to you again, he continued. This time, as Cyrus and Lena, she looked at him carefully. Could she trust him? Before she could answer, the room's lights flickered. A service drone dropped its tray. In the corner, 2 men in black jackets entered. They wore no company logos, but their eyes scanned the room like hunters. Lena's face changed. Her eyes widened. They found me, she whispered. Cyrus frowned. Who? No time, she said. I need to go. Wait. Lena grabbed his wrist. If you want the truth, come with me. But once you do, there's no turning back. Cyrus looked at the 2 men, then at her. Something deep inside told him this wasn't just a mystery anymore. I'm in, he said. Together they slipped out through the service exit. Behind them, the 2 men turned toward where they had been standing too. Late. Lena and Cyrus disappeared into the shadows of Neo-Toronto. The night air of Neo-Toronto was cold and full of lights. Flying cars zoomed above like fireflies, and giant screens on buildings flashed with news and ads. But in the narrow back alley, Lena Marin pulled Cyrus Vale into the shadows. They were running. Who were those men? Cyrus asked, breathing heavily. Skyrift agents, Lena replied, her voice low. They've been after me for years. Cyrus looked at her, confused. Why, you're just a waitress. Lena stopped and turned. I'm not just a waitress. I used to be a scientist, before they erased me. Cyrus stared, shocked. My real name is Dr. Lena Marin. I was a xenolinguist working on Mars. My team found an ancient alien structure buried under the red sands. Inside it was something alive, not a creature, but data. Language, a message. Cyrus listened carefully as they walked quickly through empty streets. I cracked part of it. It wasn't a story or history, it was a signal. Something meant to wake up another system. Maybe even another species. Before I could finish, Skyrift shut everything down. They didn't want the public to know. They called it a biodigital threat. And the crystal? Cyrus asked. I stole it before they took the rest. It's the only piece of the puzzle left. They turned into a parking platform, where a rusty old hoverbike rested. Lena activated it with a thumb scan. Cyrus looked unsure. That thing still works? Barely, she said with a grin. Hold on. Meanwhile, in a dark control room deep within Skyrift's Neo-Toronto base, the 2 agents returned and reported their failure. She escaped, one said. Vale was with her. The man in charge, Director Thorne, was not pleased. He stood, tall with silver hair and emotionless eyes. Cyrus Vale is now involved, Thorne said. That complicates things. Should we go public? Thorn shook his head. No, we can't let the world know he's chasing alien tech with a missing scientist. Prepare the tracer drones. I want both of them located within 24 hours. And make it clean, no media attention. Yes, Director. Back at Lena's apartment, she placed the alien crystal on the table again. Cyrus looked around at her small room. There were old books, science journals, and strange symbols drawn on the walls. This is where you've been hiding? He asked. She nodded. For years. Cyrus sat down. You could have come to me. My company has the tech to protect you. I didn't know if I could trust you. People like you. You build cities in the sky. I serve drinks and fix broken bots. You still have the crystal, he replied. That means you're braver than most. Lena smiled faintly, then tapped on her terminal. A holographic map appeared, showing a network of symbols and alien characters glowing in blue. This is what I've translated so far. It's not just a message, it's a map. It leads to something hidden in space. A relay station, I think. Something old, something left behind. Left behind by who? Cyrus asked. Lena looked at him. Not by humans. That much is clear. Cyrus leaned closer. What if we find it? What happens next? I don't know, Lena whispered. But whatever it is, Skyriff doesn't want us to reach it. Suddenly, the terminal beeped. Incoming signal, Lena said. She tapped a few keys. A small flying drone appeared outside. The window. Skyriff found us. She shouted. Cyrus ran to the window and saw more drones approaching. We need to leave. Now. Lena grabbed the crystal and shoved it into a secure pouch. Cyrus helped her gather a few tools and data chips. They rushed out the back door just as the first drone fired a scanning beam into the apartment. The window shattered and the crystal's energy triggered a strange hum, confusing the drones for a few seconds. That was all they needed. They escaped into the tunnels beneath the city. Hours later, they reached Cyrus's private lab hidden under Quantum Core's main research center. Lena's eyes widened when she stepped inside. It was bright, clean, and filled with advanced technology. Robotic arms moved silently across long tables. AI servers hummed quietly. Welcome to my real office, Cyrus said. Lena placed the crystal on a scanner. The lab lights dimmed, and the scanner began analyzing the object. Within seconds, alien characters filled the screen. Cyrus watched in awe. This is far beyond anything I've seen. Lena began typing commands. The message is reshaping itself. The signal. It's alive. It reacts to who is reading it. As they worked together, the alien language slowly transformed into patterns, then into coordinates. It's pointing to the Europa system, one of Jupiter's moons, Lena said. There's something hidden under the ice. Before Cyrus could respond, an alert appeared on the screen. Intrusion detected. Unknown signal tracing location. Lena gasped. They found us again. Cyrus turned to his AI system. Activate lockdown. Block all outgoing signals. Launch decoy servers. The lab sealed itself, walls becoming steel, lights flashing red. The alien message continued to glow on the screen. We can't stay here, Lena said. They'll keep coming. They won't stop. Cyrus nodded. Then we go off-world. Lena looked surprised. You're serious? I have a private ship, Cyrus said. Hidden in orbit, no registration. We can use it to reach Europa before Skyriff does. Lena hesitated. It could be dangerous. We don't know what's waiting there. He smiled. We've already started something we can't stop. You trusted me when you had no reason to. Now it's my turn. She looked at him for a long moment, then finally nodded. Let's go find out what the stars have been trying to say. The dark space above Earth sparkled like a sea of stars, calm but full of secrets. High above the planet, hidden behind a commercial satellite array, floated a sleek silver ship, small, fast, and unregistered. Its name written in quiet blue. Letters was the Starling. Inside, Cyrus Vale and Lena Marin strapped themselves into the cockpit seats. Lena had never left Earth since her Mars mission years ago. Her heart pounded with excitement and fear. "Are you sure no one can track this ship?" Lena asked as the engines powered up. Cyrus gave her a confident nod. "This ship doesn't connect to any government grid. It runs on a private AI I built myself. No signals, no tags. We're ghosts once we leave orbit." The screen lit up. Destination set. Europa System, Deep Ice Sector 7. Travel time 7 hours. Quantum jump. INIDZ. Ship hummed. And in the blink of an eye, they jumped across space, leaving Earth behind. Back on Earth, in a large glass tower marked with the Skyrift Dynamics logo, Director Thorne stood before a group of senior agents. A large screen showed a frozen image of the Starling leaving Earth's orbit. "We've lost them," an agent said. "They've gone off-grid." Thorne didn't blink. "Then we follow the signal." The alien crystal was active in their lab before they left. "We caught a transmission burst, a map. It's pointing toward Europa." Thorne folded his arms. "Prepare a hunter ship. Send the Black Talon, no more mistakes. That station must not fall into their hands." Meanwhile, in deep space, Lena and Cyrus floated in silence as the ship's eye guided them toward Jupiter's moon. Lena stared out at the stars, her thoughts racing. "I used to believe we were alone," she said softly. "Until Mars changed everything." Cyrus looked over. "You didn't just find a message, did you? You found something more." Lena nodded. Slowly. "Yes. At the Martian site, I found a message that wasn't just language, it was code. A kind of maybe." It attached itself to the crystal and began to learn. It started reshaping itself, as if waiting for the right person to unlock it. Why didn't Skyrift want the world to know? Because it wasn't just knowledge, it was power. Whoever decodes the full message gets access to something. A technology buried deep in alien design. Faster than light communication. Maybe even teleportation. Cyrus was silent for a moment. "That's why they chased you. Not because you were a criminal, but because you found hope." Lena looked at him. "I didn't want to keep running. But I also couldn't give it to them. They would have used it for control, not for peace." Just then, the ship AI interrupted. Arriving at destination, approaching Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter came into view, white, smooth and quiet. Beneath its frozen surface, it was said that oceans flowed. And according to the alien signal, something ancient slept beneath that ocean. The Starling landed carefully on the surface. Using special equipment, they drilled through the ice and lowered a small transport pod into a narrow shaft. They descended for nearly an hour, passing through layers of ice, salt, and finally, black water. At the bottom, their lights revealed a massive metallic structure buried in the ice. A perfect circle, glowing faintly with blue lines. "This is it," Lena said, staring in awe. "The alien relay station." They entered through a round hatch that opened as soon as Lena held the crystal near it. Inside, the air was cold, breathable. The walls glowed with soft light, and symbols floated through the air like holograms. The place felt alive. "This station has been sleeping for thousands of years," Lena whispered, "waiting for a signal to wake it up." Cyrus followed her into a central chamber, where a large sphere floated in the middle of the room. It pulsed as the crystal in Lena's hand glowed. Suddenly, the sphere lit up and a voice echoed, not in words, but in emotions. The station was communicating directly with their minds. Connection established. Identity human, confirmed. Purpose peace or power. Lena stepped forward. "We seek knowledge, not control." The station hesitated, then released a stream of data into the air. Patterns of stars, coordinates, and diagrams appeared, showing entire systems far beyond human reach. "It's giving us a map," Cyrus said. "A map to other relay stations." Maybe even other civilizations, Lena added. The moment was filled with wonder until an alarm rang on Cyrus's wrist chip. Incoming ship, he said sharply. Fast, military design. It's them. Lena's face went cold. Skyrift found us. Above the moon's surface, a black, jagged ship cut through space. The Black Talon, Skyrift's fastest hunter-class vessel, had arrived. Inside, agents. In dark armor prepared for landing. Target acquired, the commander said. Prepare for breach. Back in the station, the lights began to flicker. The alien system sensed danger. We need to shut it down, Lena said. We can't let Skyrift steal this. I'll hold them off, Cyrus said. You finish the download. But no time. Go. Lena ran back to the data console, pressing commands as the station began to close itself off, layer by layer. Cyrus pulled out a small energy shield from his belt and moved toward the entrance tunnel. Moments later, Skyrift agents broke through the ice. A short battle followed, shields flashing, plasma bolts flying, but Cyrus held the line. Lena finished the download, her eyes filled with tears. It's done. She ran to Cyrus, and together they triggered the emergency exit tunnel. The alien station began sealing itself forever behind them. As they reached the surface and re-entered the Starling, the ground below rumbled. The relay station vanished beneath ice once more, leaving no trace behind. Cyrus set the ship to jump. Lena placed the glowing crystal into the ship's AI core. Now we have something even Skyrift can't take the truth. And in the cold of space, humanity's future took a new path, one built on courage, trust, and the spark of something greater. The silver ship Starling soared through space, leaving behind the icy moon Europa. Inside, Cyrus Vale and Lena Marin sat quietly, still catching their breath after escaping from Skyrift's agents. The soft hum of the engine filled the silence. As the stars drifted past them, Lena stared at the glowing alien crystal now resting safely inside the ship's core. We almost didn't make it, she said softly. But we did, Cyrus replied, placing a hand gently on her shoulder. You downloaded everything, right? She nodded. Yes, the station gave us more than coordinates. It gave us access to ancient knowledge, technology we've never seen. Maps to other relay points across the galaxy. Cyrus leaned forward, his eyes sharp. Then it's time we stop running. Lena looked confused. What do you mean? Cyrus stood up and began typing on the control screen. Skyrift wants to control this secret. But we can't let them. The only way to stop them is to go public with everything. Lena hesitated. If we do that, the world will know, everyone. It could cause panic. Or hope, he said. If humanity sees what's out there, if they understand we're not alone, maybe we can unite for something bigger. The screen lit up with transmission options. Encrypted networks, deep space relays, and interplanetary news channels. Lena took a deep breath. All right, let's do it. In less than an hour, the Starling began transmitting a powerful signal across every secure frequency. The message included parts of the alien map, symbols decoded from the relay station, and proof that humanity had made first contact not with living beings, but with an ancient, intelligent design left long ago. The news spread like fire. Earth's top scientists, media outlets, and even colony leaders on Mars and Titan picked up the message. People across the solar system watched in awe as they saw images of the Europa station, the alien symbols, and even a short clip of the station's floating energy sphere. The headline on every major news network read, "Humanity is not alone. Billionaire and unknown scientist reveal alien discovery." Back on Earth, Skyrift headquarters fell into chaos. Director Thorne watched the live feed in silence as his carefully hidden secret became public knowledge. "Cut the signal," he shouted. An agent looked up from his console. "Too late, sir. The message is everywhere. Even the Martian Council is asking questions." Thorne clenched his fists. If we can't stop them, we must discredit them. He turned to his team. Create a new story. Say they faked it. Call it a stunt by Cyrus to raise his company's value. Discredit the woman. Label her a criminal. Use old footage from Mars. Make the world doubt. Yes, sir. But not everyone believed Skyrift's lies. Scientists across Earth began examining the alien data. Top engineers confirmed it was not human-made. And when several Mars researchers backed Lena's identity as a missing scientist, public support grew fast. Meanwhile, the Starling landed on a private quantum core space dock orbiting Earth. Cyrus had called a secret meeting with a group of powerful, all-eyes people he trusted. There was Dr. Nayla Chun, an AI ethics expert, Captain Reed, a respected space pilot, and Minister Arjun, a member of Earth's United Space Council. They met inside the ship's lab, where Lena showed them the downloaded alien files. This is not just a message, she explained. This is a network, a system built across stars. And this crystal is a key. The minister looked amazed. How many of these stations exist? Maybe dozens, Lena said. Maybe hundreds. Captain Reed asked, if we follow the map, what are we looking for? Truth, Cyrus said. And maybe other life. Dr. Chun studied the data. If we share this with the world properly, we can push human science forward by centuries. But it also means risk, Arjun added. Skyrift won't stop. They'll come after anyone who supports this. Cyrus looked them all in the eyes. Then we fight back. Not with weapons, but with light, with knowledge. We lead humanity to the stars. The next day, Cyrus held a live press conference from his quantum core station. Millions of people tuned in from every corner of the solar system. He stood in front of a large screen, the alien map glowing behind him. He began, "This is not a marketing trick. This is not a game. What you see behind me is real proof that someone, somewhere, left us a message. Not a threat, not a weapon, but a bridge, a chance to grow. For too long, secrets like these have been hidden by corporations like Skyrift, afraid of losing power. But today, we break that silence. Today, we begin a new chapter for humanity, not as divided nations, but as explorers, together." His words touched hearts across planets. People cheered. Young minds dreamed. Scientists began gathering in research hubs to help decode the alien technology. Lena watched from the side, tears in her eyes. For the first time in years, she felt seen not as a runaway or a forgotten scientist, but as someone who had helped change the course of human history. But far out in deep space, something else had noticed the signal too. On a quiet, distant planet unknown to humanity, a strange structure began to glow. A light flickered inside, then spread across an old machine, built into the ground. Dust fell as ancient gears turned for the first time in centuries. A signal was returned. Back on the Starling, the crystal pulsed brightly. A new message appeared on the ship's screen. Received. Observation complete. Humanity acknowledged. Next phase, contact. Lena stared at it. They heard us. Cyrus smiled. Then we'd better be ready. And with that, humanity was no longer just looking at the stars. They were being watched in return. The news of the alien message had now spread to every planet, station, and colony under human control. From the floating cities of Earth to the mining domes on Mars, people were talking about the same thing. First contact. But this contact was different. There were no ships in the sky. No alien creatures on Earth. Instead, there was only a quiet signal, a strange, ancient code sent from somewhere far beyond the stars. And now, they had replied. Inside the Starling, floating just beyond Earth's orbit, Cyrus Vale and Lena Marin sat in front of the glowing screen. The alien message was still fresh, pulsing softly with strange shapes and symbols. Received. Observation complete. Humanity acknowledged. Next phase, contact. Lena leaned forward, studying every detail. It's a reply. Not just a recorded message. This is live. Cyrus nodded slowly. That means they're out there, watching us. Lena turned to him. And now they know we're ready. Or at least trying to be. But not everyone was happy about the discovery. Back on Earth, Skyrift Dynamics was in full panic mode. Inside their secure underground base, Director Thorne paced in front of a massive screen showing news broadcasts, social media feeds, and government reactions. The situation is getting worse, an agent said. Public trust in Skyrift is falling. Cyrus Vale's message has united half the colonies. Thorne's eyes narrowed. Then it's time to divide them. He turned to his communications team. Prepare a counter-signal. Something big. Something frightening. If the people want hope, give them fear. Make them question if these aliens are truly peaceful. But sir, the tech officer asked, there's no evidence the aliens are dangerous. Thorne's voice grew cold. Then we'll create some. The next day, across major news networks, a new video began to circulate. In the footage, blurry images showed what looked like an alien structure firing a strange beam into deep space. A narrator's voice warned, unknown energy detected, massive surge. Experts fear alien weapon testing. Are we safe? People began to panic. On social media, the words alien invasion and prepare for war began trending. Skyrift secretly funded several influencers to spread doubt about Lena and Cyrus's story. Even some governments started to hesitate. Back on the Starling, Lena noticed the change immediately. Look at these reports, she said, scrolling through feeds. They're twisting everything. People are scared. Cyrus frowned. Skyrift must be behind this. They want to control the narrative again, Lena sighed. They're making us look like the enemy. If we don't act soon, everything we've built will fall apart. Cyrus walked over to the command screen. Then we have to talk to them, the aliens, directly. Lena turned to him, surprised. We don't even know how. Yes, we do, Cyrus said. You said the relay stations form a network, right? Like a chain across the stars? Yes. Then maybe we can send a signal to the next station. Ask for real contact, a meeting. Lena hesitated. It could be dangerous. It's also the only way to stop the lies, Cyrus said. She nodded. Okay, let's try. Using the knowledge gained from the Europa station, Lena and Cyrus prepared a new signal, one built from the alien language but added with human touch, emotion, curiosity, peace. They sent the signal out through the crystal core, through the same system the ancient builders had used. For several hours, there was silence. Then, something responded. High above Earth, far beyond the reach of human satellites, a new object appeared. It was not a ship in the traditional sense. It looked like a sphere of shifting light, constantly changing shape, size, and color. It made no sound. It held no weapons. It simply drifted slowly toward Earth orbit, glowing like a second moon. The world watched in stunned silence. Scientists scanned it, no signs of life. Military ships aimed their weapons but did not fire. Inside the Starling, the alien crystal pulsed brightly. Lena whispered, "They're here." The screen lit up with a new message. "You have replied. Contact request acknowledged. Do you choose to represent your species?" Cyrus looked at Lena. "They want us to speak for Earth." Lena's hands trembled slightly. I didn't expect this. You're the one who found them. You're the one they trust." Lena took a deep breath. "Then I'll do it." She typed her answer into the terminal, sending it through the crystal. "Yes, we accept. We speak for humanity. We come in peace." A beam of soft golden light burst out from the alien sphere, surrounding the Starling in a warm glow. Time seemed too slow. The ship no longer floated. It drifted gently into the sphere's core. Without effort. Inside, Cyrus and Lena found themselves standing in a strange white space. It was not physical, but it felt real. Shapes appeared, glowing figures made of patterns, not flesh. They had no eyes or mouths, but somehow they were watching, listening. A calm voice echoed all around. Your kind has reached a threshold. Your minds are open. Your heart's uncertain. But your hope is strong. We offer knowledge. We offer exchange. But understand, others have come before you. Not all chose peace. Lena stepped forward. We want peace. We want to learn. Cyrus added, and we want to share what we learn. Not hide it. The light grew brighter. The figures glowed a deep blue. Then your trial begins. Show us who you are, not with weapons, but with your actions. Let your species choose its path. In a flash, Lena and Cyrus were back on the Starling, safely returned to their orbit near Earth. The alien sphere remained in the sky, silent, watching. The world had changed again. In the days that followed, humanity stood at a crossroads. Some were afraid. Others were inspired. But for the first time, the entire world looked toward the stars, not as conquerors, but as students. And standing in the middle of it all were two people, once strangers, brought together by mistake, now chosen as messengers between worlds. The alien sphere remained in Earth's orbit, a silent guardian glowing softly against the blackness of space. People around the world watched it with wonder, fear, and hope. It was a symbol of change, a reminder that humanity was no longer alone. Inside the Starling, orbiting quietly nearby, Cyrus Vale and Lena Marin prepared for the next step in their journey. After the alien contact, their lives had changed completely. No longer just a billionaire CEO and a poor waitress. They were now the chosen ambassadors of Earth. The responsibility was heavy. In a special broadcast, Cyrus and Lena addressed the people of Earth. Millions tuned in, their faces full of questions and dreams. Today, Cyrus began, we stand on the edge of a new era. The aliens we contacted have offered us a chance to learn, to grow, and to join a greater community in the stars. Lena added, they have challenged us not with weapons, but with trust, to prove who we truly are as a species. The message was clear. Humanity's future depended on courage, kindness, and wisdom. Behind the scenes, the governments of Earth worked together for the first time in decades. A new organization, the Interstellar Human Alliance, IHA, was formed to prepare Earth for this new chapter. Scientists, diplomats, and leaders joined forces to study the alien technology and plan for future contact. Quantum core industries became a leading part of this effort, providing resources and technology. Cyrus, once seen as a distant businessman, was now a key figure in shaping humanity's destiny. Lena, too, found new purpose. Her knowledge of alien language and culture made her invaluable. But she never forgot where she came from. One day, while working late in the new research center, Lena received a surprise visitor. It was Amara, the real woman Cyrus was supposed to meet on that fateful night. Amara smiled warmly. I watched what you two did, what you started. I just wanted to say, thank you. Lena was surprised but nodded. Thank you too. Amara added, maybe our meeting that night was meant to be a mistake so you could find each other and find this. Lena smiled softly. Sometimes mistakes lead to the best things. Months passed. Humanity made progress. New relay stations were located throughout the solar system, each one unlocking more secrets. People traveled farther, dreaming bigger. Cyrus and Lena traveled to visiting colonies, speaking to crowds and helping prepare for the next phase of contact. But not all challenges were gone. Skyrift dynamics still lurked in the shadows, working to regain power. But their lies were exposed, and the world no longer trusted them as before. More importantly, the alien message had warned, not all species choose peace. One evening, as Lena and Cyrus studied new data in the Starling, a warning flashed across the console. Unknown ship approaching. The II said. The ship was unlike anything seen before, a massive vessel covered in shifting dark metal. Surrounded by glowing red energy fields, Cyrus frowned. This is not a friendly visitor. Lena stood, determination shining in her eyes. Then we prepare. We protect our people. And we show the universe who humanity really is. They sent a message to Earth's defense network and began readying. The starling for a possible battle. The alien sphere in orbit pulsed brightly, sending a wave of light across the solar system. It was a call, a reminder that humanity was now part of something bigger. Cyrus looked at Lena. Whatever comes next, we face it together. Lena nodded. We do. Not just as CEO and Waitress, but as partners, as humans. Together they watched the stars, no longer just lights in the sky, but beacons guiding humanity's way. And so, a new dawn rose for humanity, a story that began with a mistaken identity on a blind date, became a story of courage, trust, and hope. It was the start of humanity's journey among the stars, and it was only the beginning.